Hi guys, I'm going to explain the marine environment and the major sources of the marine pollution and I will explain the Marpol Convention and history when it's adopted and history when it was adopted. So let's start. So what is marine environment? So marine environment means the physical, atmospheric, and biological components, conditions, and factors that are interactively determine the productivity, state, condition, and quality of the marine of ecosystem. This includes the waters of the high seas, the contiguous zone, transitional and intertidal areas, salt marshes, and wetlands within the coastal zone and on the OCS. So the main sources of marine pollutions are land-based sources, shipping and maritime industry. So the land-based sources by such as byproducts of industry, runoff runoff from agricultural pesticides and herbicides, effluent discharge from urban areas such as the throwing of waste in the sea or in the marine environment, and lastly exploitation and exploitation activities. Examples in shipping and maritime industry that can cause marine pollutions are collisions, grounding or accidental discharge, operational discharges, tank washing, ballasting or deballasting, machinery space discharge, and docking. In collision of the ships can cause oil spill that can damage the marine environment or the marine sources such as fish that are living under the sea. Effects or the impacts of marine pollution. It blankets the surface, interfering with the oxygen exchange between the sea and the atmospheres. Blankets the seabed, interfering with the growth of marine life. And oil may enter seawater distilling inlets, and it may be deposited on tidal mudflats again with detrimental result, and interferes with the recreational uses of beaches. I'm going to explain the Marpol Convention or International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships. So Marpol was adopted on 2nd of November 1973 at IMO. The Protocol of 1978 was adopted in response to a spate of tanker accidents in 1976 to 1977, as the 1973 Marpol Convention had not yet entered into force. The 1978 Marpol Protocol has absorbed the parent convention, and the combined instrument entered into force on October 2nd, 1983. In 1997, a protocol was adopted to amend the convention, and the new Annex 6 was added, which entered into force on 19th May 2005. Marpol has been updated by amendments through the years. So this Marpol Convention, or the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, is the main international convention covering the prevention of pollution of the marine environment by ships from the operational or accidental causes. The Marpol Convention includes regulations aimed at preventing and minimizing pollution from ships, both accidental pollution and that from routine operations, and currently including 6 technical annexes. Special areas with strict controls operational discharge are included in most annexes. So the Annex 1 regulation for prevention of pollution by oil entered into force 2nd October 1983. Annex 1 covers prevention of pollution by oil operational measure as well as from accidental discharges. Annex 2 regulation for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances in bulk entered into force 2nd October 1983. Details the discharge criteria and measures the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances carried in bulk. Annex 3 prevention of pollution by harmful substances carried by sea in package form. So Annex 3 contains general requirements for the issuing of detailed standards on packing, marking, labeling, documentation, stowage, quantity, limitation, exceptions, and notifications. For the purpose of this annex, harmful substances are those substances which are identified as marine pollutants of the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code or IMDG code, or which meet the criteria is in the Appendix or Annex 3. Annex 4, Prevention of Pollution by Sewage from Ships, entered into force on 27 September 2003. It contains requirements to control pollution by sea sewage. The discharge of sewage into the sea is prohibited, except when the ship has in operation an approved sewage treatment plant or when the ship is discharging comminuted in disinfected sewage using an approved system at a distance of more than 3 nautical miles from the nearest land. Annex 5, Prevention of Pollution by Garbage from Ships, entered into force 31st of December 1988. It deals with different types of garbage and specifies and distances from land and the manner in which they may dispose of. The most important features of Annex is the complete ban imposed of the disposal in the sea of all forms of plastics. Lastly, Annex 6, Prevention of Air Pollution from Ships, entered into force 19 May 2005. Set limits of sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide emission from ships, exhaust, and prohibits deliberate emission of ozone-depleting substances. Designated emission control areas set more stringent standard for SO and NO and particular matter. A chapter adopted in 2011 covers mandatory technical and operational energy efficiency measures aimed at reducing greenhouse gas from emission ships.